Hello, AD. I'm Sarah Paulson, and welcome to my Malibú getaway. Come on in. There's 3 rooms. There's a bathroom, a bedroom, and a living room / kitchen. I like a /. Welcome to my living room, which is really tiny. Everything about the house is quite cozy because of the size of it. But I think we did some really special things with the space, or Emmy Kehoe did some very special things with the space. I don't know if it's going to sound strange. It certainly won't to any person who is wild about their pets. I brought my dog to my friend's house. She has a house in the same area, and I took my dog for a walk on the beach. I've never seen my dog so happy. So I actually really got the house for my dog. That's the truth. This Green River Project table is made of the most beautiful wood, the scalloped edge, which I think is an incredibly beautiful touch, really evoking the water, kind of bringing the beach into the house. This sofa, also custom made for the space, because as I said, everything is so incredibly small here. There was no sofa on the market that I liked well enough to serve my Malibú getaway. This is beautiful fabric from Pat McGann, which is gorgeous. I know I keep stressing how small the space is, but I'm not kidding. And all of the lovely people in here who are helping to make this happen today can tell you, and there are several people behind the camera, very small. To me, it almost feels cozier that way. And I'm not just saying it because it's what my space is, but it actually feels like being in a little book nook or something with very, very beautiful touches all over that just make everything feel really peaceful and lovely. So to me, it's just about finding ways to unplug. And anytime I'm near the water, I really feel like that's easier. This is my kitchen. It is my favorite place to be, probably in the house, mostly because of how open and airy it is. The ceiling is at its highest point in the kitchen, and I have these transom windows at the top of the house, which let in really gorgeous light. The reason I love this room so much is that it feels airy and open and light, and because I'm obsessed with my countertops, which Amy found these slabs, and the minute I saw them, I was just like, they're green, they're like seafoam green, they're like what happens to the water when it laps up on the sand. I often feel that marble in the kitchen looks like bathroom marble to me. And it's typically because it's the same kind of veining or the traditional kind of gray marble that you see often in bathrooms. And I thought, this is the most beautiful marble I've ever seen with all of the green veining, and up close, I mean, it really looks like there's cut emeralds in it. It's just gorgeous. I have 2 prized possessions in here that mean something to me, which is my partner Holland Taylor got me this incredible piece of art called Perdido, which I'm sure I'm saying wrong, but it's by this incredible artist named Patricia Iglesias. And I had actually purchased a piece of her art from the Nickey Kehoe store, and it was a watercolor, and Holland did not know that I had done that. And for my birthday, she got me this painting on linen that is just, it's all animals, which, as I've made very clear, are very important to me. And also I have this incredible original print by a photographer named Sam Shaw, who was John Cassavetes' on-set photographer. And so he was there the day they were shooting this scene from A Woman Under the Influence with Jenna Rollins. And that is Cassavetes shooting Jenna in that scene, and he's got a cigarette hanging out of his mouth, and it just sort of encapsulates, I think, everything about the way they made movies. And she obviously is an actress who means a great deal to me, and it's just a very, very meaningful piece that I actually had in my other house, and I brought here to Malibú to live in the kitchen. So all of the hardware here by Philip Cranji, they have a kind of rope quality to them, which again was like pulling in some of the nautical, close to the ocean vibes, which I really love. All of my refrigerator, freezer, I decided I wanted 2 of them because I knew the space was small, but I know that I like to have a cocktail. Like, part of what feels like fun about this place is having people over and taking walks on the beach and taking your drink with you. And so I knew I needed like plenty of space to put booze and also ice. I'm not a big cook, so I was able to have the world's tiniest stove, which also works with the space, and I think is quite sweet, but also is very representative and indicative of my actual lifestyle, which is she doesn't cook. She doesn't cook at all. I was incredibly lucky that the person who built this property, even though I changed all of the interior, there was so much light and all these transom windows that, you know, throughout the day the light changes, which I think is a really lovely thing to have in a space. So all of the sconces, both in the bedroom and here in the kitchen, these wicker brass gems are from a place called Salón, which is in England, and we waited a very long time for them, which is often the case when you want to buy things from far away. The other light fixtures are all vintage finds that I think help the house feel truly what it is, which is just like a little cozy, homey place that I tried to make something that still felt like it was evoking my spirit, but it's still a little spot on the beach. It's not fancy, but it has some incredibly nuanced, lovely things that make it feel like it's mine. Hey, I don't know about you, but I really like using a curtain for a door. That was our solve so that we did not have what traditionally happens in small spaces, which is the dreaded barn door. I don't go for it. I don't like the barn door. You know, mazel tov to anyone who does. It's not a judgment. It kind of is a judgment, but it's fine. You can have your barn door. But we came up with this idea of separating the space between the living room and the kitchen and the bedroom with this incredible curtain fabric from Nickey Kehoe's store, which is great. So it does a lot of this, which is nice. Okay, we are in my tiny, tiny ship's cabin of a bedroom, which is another theme that Amy and I talked about making a space where every single thing served a very specific purpose. So it could be tight, tidy, and really, really cozy, like a ship, with an incredibly beautiful Nickey Kehoe string pendant that I've always coveted it, and I wanted one in my other house, and there was never really anywhere to put it. So basically, we started with this pendant, and everything sort of built out from there. Shin at Waka Waka made the base of my bed, which is made this beautiful dusty rose color, and again, drawers on the bottom for storage, because we were trying to make as much space as possible. Oh, this wallpaper is extraordinary. I will tell you that the color of my house is sort of the background exterior color of this wallpaper, which is Itarica Gazzoni wallpaper. I like to call it aubergine. I think some people call it eggplant. You know, tomato, tomato. Sometimes I like going hard with color and depth in a small space. I think the texture of it and everything just makes things feel kind of womb-like and cozy, which if you ask me, that is a lovely feeling for a bedroom. I got this incredible cashmere blanket from Amy's store, Nickey Kehoe. I'm obviously very obsessed and possessed by my designer. I think she's a brilliant genius, but this was at their store and it was the coziest, it just, to me, I was like, oh, is this too much pattern on pattern? And then I thought, I don't really care. It's the most divine, cozy, warm thing. The reason I'm talking about it is because I like to put my pets in cashmere as much as possible because they're very into it because they're not dumb. You know, I don't have dumb dogs. So the main event really when I'm here is to cuddle in this bed with my blanket, with all of my dogs in the bed and my television that is on this wall. It's a real Netflix and chill sort of story here. We are in my bathroom, which is floor to ceiling tiled with beautiful Zelig tile from Clay Tile, which once I saw one of them, I just went nuts. And I said to Amy, like, would it be crazy if we just did the whole thing, ceiling the whole thing? I'm obsessed with it. I'm obsessed the way it looks textural and then it moves like sequins, which are one of my favorite things on planet Earth is a sequin. I thought it should be as beautiful and inviting and gorgeous as possible, which I think we have achieved. So in terms of finding sconces that we're going to kind of elevate the space, but still kind of keep it what it should be, which is a little tiny house. Amy found, I think on first dibs, these incredible Italian lavender colored like rock crystal sconces. And as soon as she showed them to me, I just went absolutely nuts for them and wanted to have them and thought, well, even if it's too glamorous a sconce to have in a little beach house, I want it anyway. And that is sort of the driving force, I think, in most choices that we made here, which was like, what's going to feel the most fun and what's going to feel luxurious, but also just ultimately me. And again, it's a lavender lilac color, which is another watered down version of eggplant. So I obviously have a real problem with that. It's my favorite color. What can I say? You should always be surrounded by your favorite color. I do think it does something for your energy and for your mood and for your spirit. We are in my lovely, charming, exceedingly tiny backyard where I like to also do really annoying white girl on Instagram things like drink my tea out here. Okay, so one of my favorite things about this house, I do like to walk on the beach, and I like to walk on the beach with no shoes on. So we have a great outdoor shower that Amy found that has a special little feature for the feet where you can just turn it on and get all that dirty sand off your feet, because I really don't want all the sand on my beautiful wide plank Madeira floors. Call me crazy, but I don't. I don't even think I got floors that are like good for water weather or wet feet, but I didn't care. I did it anyway because they're so pretty. I work with this wonderful landscape architect named Sean Femright. Some of this ivy was all here. I got very lucky that there was so much green and I didn't have to do any of that. But all of the plantings, all of the pots, Sean did, and I just love him to pieces. And he took me to this incredible store called Merit that has all of these old vessels, all of which are antique and paint chipping, pottery chipping, beautiful vessels to hold all of his really beautiful plants. Hey AD, thank you so much for coming by. It has been a great time. And now I would like you to